You know, after watching K-dramas for the entirety of my life, I have arrived at one conclusion. K-drama writers are total sadists, and K-drama characters in all kinds of genres will end up suffering. Still, today we are talking about the worst of the bunch, aka characters who suffer so much, I had to question the screenwriter. Number 1. Kangmaru The Innocent Man. Now, The Innocent Man is by no means a bad melodrama, and Song Joong-ki's performance in this series is probably one of my favorites. You probably don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but trust me, it's probably for the better. For those wondering about the plot, then here it goes. Kangmaru is a smart but poor medical student who only had his little sister. However, he was so strongly in love with the second female lead, Jae-hee, that he took the blame of murder for her. Fast forward to years later, Maru was released from prison, but Jae-hee had already married a rich CEO. He became heartbroken, arrogant, and a total playboy, who scammed women for money. And then, he met the female lead So Eun-gi. Unfortunately, this isn't going the romantic route you were expecting, because Eun-gi is actually the stepdaughter of Jae-hee, and Maru only approached her for revenge. Yes, they fell in love, but Eun-gi realized Maru was using her, and Jae-hee turned out to still have feelings for Maru. There was also a car accident where the female lead got amnesia and caused 500 more issues and heartbreaks, throughout which our male lead never got a break. The series' epilogue even revealed that Maru let his own car crash because he was just exhausted from life, and was hoping that he and Eun-gi would die together and have another normal life, which speaks volumes of his mental state. And finally, if you're wondering how the series ended, I'm going to inform you that Maru got a fatal illness and was dying the entire time. He also delayed his treatment to help the female lead, got stabbed while protecting her, hid his wound, and collapsed on the street.
그냥 이대로 끝나도 상관없다고.
7 years later, we find out that Maru did not die, only lost his memories, and apparently now lives happier than ever. Like, what kind of sucky life does one have to lead? They need to forget all about it to be happy. Kangmaru can answer the question for you. Number 2. Junghan Sol Vincenzo. Okay, for this next entry, we have a dark comedy. Let's first take a look at the plot. The drama revolves around Vincenzo, an Italian mafia who sets out to his motherland, Korea, to get a stash of gold hidden there years before. Loyal to its dark comedy genre, the series is packed with humor, action, and awe-inspiring moments that keep the viewers on edge. While the audience is equally charmed by Vincenzo's diverse cast, one character stands out as the series approaches its end. His name is Junghan Sol, and he was first introduced as a villain and president of the evil corporation Bbali Group. However, it's later revealed that Hanso was a mere puppet under his older brother's control. He was physically and emotionally abused, to the point that he was desperate for self-validation and love. He had to be cruel for his own survival, and it was not until Hanso grew close to the male lead that he managed to break free. From a pretentious and dim-witted lackey, he evolved into a true hero who wants to do good. Over the course of the series, Junghan Sol managed to charm both the male lead and the audience, with his selfless loyalty and cheerful personality. Unfortunately, such a great character just has to die in the end. When the leads are threatened by the main villain Junghan Sok, he uses his own body to shield them, ensuring that there's no bullet left in the gun. As the screen shows Hanso's final words, the audience is left with buckets of tears, especially when they realize that Hanso never gets to experience true happiness. So yes, I am obviously not leaving Hanso out of this list. Number 3. Ro Snowdrop. Okay, fans of Snowdrop are probably questioning me why Ro instead of Suho, but I'm of the opinion that eternal suffering is worse than getting a pass to heaven. For context, Ro, aka the female lead of Snowdrop, is a daughter to this super important political figure. Her stepmother, however, hated her, so she got sent to live in the female dormitory of her university. So Ro was living pretty happily with her roommates and enjoying her beautiful college life, before she bumped into the male lead, Suho, at a mixer party. She got eyes for him, they sort of developed chemistry, but Suho turns out to be a North Korean spy. Circumstances forced the guy to take the entire dormitory hostage, including Ro, and kicked up a whole series of political dramas. Anyways, to sum it up, Young Ro's brother was basically killed while she was still trapped inside. All of her hard-earned friends started to detest her, thinking that she was the cause of the mess. And she was put at gunpoint for like 3 times by her own fated other, all the while falling harder for him. So what's the end to this series that literally has no happy moments? Suho and all his comrades ended up getting killed? Young Ro's father was convicted and imprisoned? Young Ro was still hated by her friends? And thus was left alone, suffering, and remembering rare, beautiful moments forever. Like, seriously, she lost her love, her friends, her family, and every single one that has loved her. I'd say that's one of K-drama's worst ever fates. Number 4. Sung Gyo-han, Mouse. Moving on to the investigation genre, it is impossible to not talk about Yohan, the genius medical resident that made all of us feel guilty. Long story short, we started the series all thinking that since Yohan is cold, unfeeling, a genius, and the son of a previous serial killer, he is probably a psychopath, and the newly emerged murderer everyone was looking for. By episode 8, the guy had died, deemed as a criminal, with even his own mother deadly afraid of him. To make it worse, Yohan's newborn child was abused, since people thought they would follow his deathly legacy, and his girlfriend was berated for having a relationship with a murderer. And the guy didn't even die whole, as his brain was surgically removed and put into the male lead Barum, who we all thought to be righteous, and even pitied him for inheriting Yohan's murder memory. Turns out that wasn't quite the case. Yohan and Barum were switched at birth, since their mothers wanted to perform an experiment. Yohan was actually the child of a heroic firefighter, and was just a genius, with feelings like any other person. He also looked into the murder cases himself and discovered the true criminal, aka our beloved Barum. In addition, his brain became what provided Barum with feelings, which led to the true killer revealing himself. So basically, Yohan ended up suffering, getting a troubled mother, being blamed for a terrible crime, and having his child beaten, all while doing absolutely nothing wrong. What a life he had. Honorable mention, Ali, Squid Game. Okay, to be fair, almost every character in Squid Game has suffered, but Ali's story got me bawling on the floor and staring at the ceiling until 4 a.m. in the morning. If you wondered what happened to cause such a reaction, then here's how things go. First, Ali came to Korea with his wife and son as immigrants, but had to leave his parents behind in the process. However, his employer refused to pay him for 6 entire months, and Ali eventually had to enter Squid Game as a last resort. Despite his disadvantage while playing Korean games that he knew nothing about, Ali was an extremely kind man, even saving the male lead Gi-hoon in the first round while expecting no favors. Unfortunately, naivety was Ali's downfall. He was betrayed by Sang-woo, the man he adored and looked up to, not knowing of his doom until it was too late. Imagine handing your life to someone and putting your whole faith in them, only for them to coldly turn away as you are shot to death. Yup, that happened. Also, you know what made things even worse? Gi-hoon, after winning, kept all the money to himself. He ended up supporting Sang-woo and the female lead's family by the end. But completely forgot about Ali. Like, had Ali's family escaped back to their nation? Or are they still suffering in Korea, wondering where Ali had gone? We get absolutely nothing. So that's the list. Do you know any other characters that have suffered terribly? Let us know in the comment section. And if you want more videos like this, remember to like, share, and subscribe to KDrama. See ya!